Hi, friends. Let's continue with Chapter 4 of International Parity Conditions. Till now, we have already learned the law of one price, space arbitrage based on the law of one price, and purchasing power parity theories. From last video, we began to learn the theories of interest rate parity. We learned uncovered interest rate parity and uncovered interest rate arbitrage. In this video, we'll learn the covered interest rate parity and covered interest rate arbitrage. When uncovered, the investor is going to bear risk of the change of exchange rate. So, better to cover to avoid exposure to the exchange rate. But how to cover? There are 4 steps in a covered interest rate arbitrage. Step 1. Borrow low interest rate currency. Step 2. Do spot transaction. Step 3. Invest deposit of higher interest rate currency. Step 4. Execute forward transaction. In the above 4 steps, the first 3 steps are the same with the uncovered interest rate arbitrage, but plus step 4, sign a forward transaction contract. Then, when the investment on money market is expired, you can exchange the capital and interest at the forward rate, which is already known. So, the exchange rate risk can be excluded completely. That's to say, the uncovered interest arbitrage will be covered. Covered interest arbitrage is also called time arbitrage. Covered interest rate arbitrage is based on the covered interest rate parity, which is shortened as CIP. Let's study the CIP theory firstly. The theory states that the difference in the national interest rates for the securities of similar risk and maturity should be equal to, but opposite than to, the forward rate discount or premium for the foreign currency, except for transaction costs. The theory of CIP can be expressed with the mathematical formula, or we can say the parity condition can be expressed as follows. I minus IF equals delta F equals F minus S over S, where I and IF indicate the domestic and foreign interest rate. When delta F larger than 0, then delta F indicates the premium of foreign currency or discount of home currency. When delta F less than 0, then delta F indicates the discount of foreign currency or premium of home currency. Please note, the term of forward exchange rate and interest rate should be matched. That's to say, for example, if the forward exchange rate is 3 months forward rate, then the term of interest rate should be changed from 1 year to 3 months. Here is the question: why and when there exists the opportunity for arbitrage? Because the spot and forward market are not always in a state of equilibrium as described by CIP, the opportunity for arbitrage exists. The arbitrager who recognized this imbalance can invest in the currency that offers a higher return on a covered basis. This is known as covered interest rate arbitrage, shortened as CIA. In the covered interest rate arbitrage, the linkage between exchange rate and interest rate is as follows. The higher interest rate currency appreciates in the spot market and depreciates in the forward market. The lower interest rate currency depreciates in the spot market and appreciates in the forward market. Why? The reason is quite obvious. In the spot market, the arbitrager will exchange with lower interest rate currency for higher interest rate currency. So, the lower interest rate currency will be depreciated and the higher interest rate currency will be appreciated. In the forward market, the arbitrager will exchange for the lower interest rate currency back with higher interest rate currency. So, the lower interest rate currency will be appreciated and the higher interest rate currency will be depreciated. Please pay attention to the conditions of covered interest rate arbitrage. There is no limitation for the capital transferring. The transaction cost must be considered, and the premier percentage of foreign currency doesn't equal to the interest rate differences. Here is the rule of thumb to judge whether there exists a chance of interest arbitrage. When the difference in interest rates is not equal to the forward premium or expected change in the spot rate, that's to say, when the interest rate parity is not had, then there exists the chance of interest arbitrage. Roughly speaking, if the difference in interest rates is greater than the forward premium or expected change in the spot rate, then invest in the higher interest rate currency. If the differences in interest rates is less than the forward premium or expected change in the spot rate, then invest in the lower interest currency. Okay, in this video, we learned how to cover an uncovered interest arbitrage with a forward transaction. And more, we learned how to judge whether there exists the chance of covered interest arbitrage. This video is about the theoretical part. In the next video, we'll learn further with example. That's all for the section. Thank you.